But going through immigration stuff, a big headache I'm having, a big problem I'm having, which I'm sure y'all are having as well, is this year has been very difficult for USCIS officers to understand your birth certificate. I'm frequently getting requests for evidence, RFEs from USCIS, and colleagues are as well, saying that we did not submit a birth certificate or we sent the wrong one, despite the fact that we sent the birth certificates. I have one case I got an RFE for today. I sent 2 of the birth certificates, 2 copies of it. It was a parent of a U.S. citizen case, and so in one portion where we're proving the relationship between the father and the child, we gave a birth certificate, but also in the application for adjustment of status, we also sent another copy of the birth certificate, and he still got an RFE saying we didn't send a birth certificate. It's very frustrating, adds time delays and costs to the process, is unneeded, and it's not that, it's frequently. You know, 2019 was a year of mistaken RFEs for the affidavit of support. I was seeing those constantly. It was very frustrating. This year, it's been about the birth certificates. It almost seems as if there's some sort of concerted effort. And you know, there's a lot of great USCIS officers that get these cases done really quick, and I have those. And I don't mean to disparage them, but for maybe it's a training thing for new people. You know, foreign birth certificates come in all shapes and sizes, and you have to study a lot of them to get the hang of it. I've been doing this a lot of years, so I can identify these documents. But when you get these RFEs, it's very frustrating. You know, clients get it, the RFE, you know, yourselves, and then you see it and you get mad, you get worried, you lose sleep. You're like, what did my lawyer do? You know, it creates problems for me, creates more work, and it creates work for them. Right now, the immigration office is going bankrupt. They don't have the money to, you know, pay things. Well, if they didn't have these frivolous RFEs, you know how much money they would save on postage, on time of the people, all this kind of stuff. So it's none of it makes any sense. There may be some plan to this, some sort of strategy, but nonetheless, it is what it is. But I just want to share that with you because if you're filing your own case, you might get an RFE and you might start freaking out. Why is this letter saying, you know, I didn't send a birth certificate, I sent it in. Was it the wrong birth certificate? Did they not get it? There's all these things that go in your head. There's a good chance you're not wrong. You didn't make a mistake, it was them. Now, I can't say that for every case. You may have forgotten to do it, but you know, when you submit a case, one thing you should do, and you know, lawyers all the time, is we scan a copy of the case and have a copy of it on hand before we send it out. So when RFE comes back and says we didn't send the birth certificate, I just open my scan up, I see, okay, in this case, for example, I had 2 copies of the birth certificate. How did you miss it? And so, you know, it is what it is. But you get frustrated, then you realize, you know, it's their organization that deal with millions of cases. These things happen. It's not always, but when it does happen, it's frustrating. So I thought I'd share that with you primarily to relieve some worry. If you got the same RFE and you're freaking out, then you should, you know, read it, make sure you did the proper birth certificate. You know, for example, I've given this example before. In France, the birth certificate that they give, that's like the international birth certificate, the EU birth certificate, that is not the correct one. That's incorrect. So if you send that one, it will be denied. The correct birth certificate for France is a birth certificate that is published and given by the municipality or the city you're born in. So it's a little bit different. And there's other cases where if your birth certificates in some countries like India don't have the person's name listed at the time of birth, that could be problematic. Or sometimes people don't get their birth certificate until maybe 2 or 3 years later, or it's not issued until then. That creates questions as to the legitimacy of the birth certificate. Some people don't send translation certificates. So there are problems that happen, but not in my cases. So that's what's frustrating, and I wanted to share that with you all. So let's get down to questions.